Peace, welcome back to Essence Tarot, and this is going to be what the masculine feels about the divine feminine. So let's see what's going on with the masculine. The energy that I'm getting with this specific masculine is a little bit of fear, okay, deceit, anger, disappointment, okay, in himself about the way that he treats this divine feminine. Okay, so let's see what's going on. Okay, so we do have the awakening. Okay, so like I said, this masculine here is, going through a shift in his life. Okay, he's changing the way he look at the situation. Okay, embracing his uniqueness, a temporary pause in action. All right, he had done some damage in the past. Okay, so his his consciousness was kind of eating at him. Okay, when it came to how he treat people. So this masculine had to go through a shift. All right, a big shift, a big awakening, because his his pride has got the best of him and treated people the wrong way. Okay, in this case, with this masculine has treated not only just the divine feminine, but other feminines as well as other people, genuine divine people, as trash, because this masculine was at its lowest energy. Okay, so this masculine's pride has got the best of him, where it took him to a point of no return, which caused this masculine to have a divine shift. Okay, so this masculine here is going through an awakening. Okay, let's see what else is going on with this masculine that's causing this masculine, like I said, this shift to awakening. Okay, let's see what Spirit has to say. Okay, so we have patience and planning. Okay, so like I said, this masculine was not a very genuine person in the physical. This masculine was not patient. Okay, this masculine was not planning his attempts. Okay, he was just going for it. Jumped into unions that didn't serve him and pushed away from unions that did. This masculine did not plan correctly, that caused this masculine to have this divine shift, because the spirit just couldn't take any more of the body being so disconnected from himself. Okay, I got another card that fell. Let's get it off the floor. Oh, okay, yeah, so we do have awareness. Okay, so like I said, this masculine had to shift, because like I said, his spirit just couldn't take any more of the physical damage this masculine was causing on this planet. Okay, was not patiently planning the situations before doing it. This masculine was just acting out of ego and pride and didn't have any intent of righteousness involved. Okay, this masculine has denied his soul the ability to live, and now the soul is really going hard on this masculine to shed the ego. Okay, so it's definitely going through awareness. Okay, what else? Okay, you have patience. All right, and if you're the type of person who had ran into this masculine while this masculine was going through this shift, you might have experienced a big negative and positive shift. It was almost like a schizophrenic, bipolar-ish. Okay, when you deal with a masculine that's in that frequency of schizo and bipolar, that's just an inner battle going through from 5D to, that's a shift. Okay, that is in the flesh, a masculine resisting its soul. You're literally watching the battle in the flesh, and you're confused. Okay, so we do have the light. All right, so this masculine will shift up out of there. Okay, shift up out of his darkness, and he will come to his light, because spirit always wins. Let's see what else. I have another card here. Okay, yeah, see, you do have the balance card. Okay, this masculine will find the balance, because they're not powerful than spirit. That's why you got this awakening. This masculine is completely weak. Anybody that oopsie, I'm just hitting everything. Anybody that really tries to turn against their divine spirit, to try to attempt, okay, any kind of physical pleasures, misguidance, getting off their path to play in Pandora's, box, do not succeed the way that we think that they do, just because we believe that they did, because it just looks that way. But underneath is the bigger battle when it comes to this masculine. Okay, this masculine will find balance eventually. Just give this masculine some space while this masculine is, dealing with this shift. Masculine, you have to allow your inner God to live. Okay, you cannot keep resisting your inner God because of your physical desires. You're not planning it, you're not planning it correctly. Okay, you almost look like 1111. So spirit is definitely at work, because you got 11 here and it looks like 11 here. Okay, spirit is definitely at work on you masculine, because you're not listening. Okay, you have to listen to spirit, because you're out here causing chaos when you don't listen to the divine. Okay, when you don't listen to your soul, you're causing chaos. Okay, you're not on your path. You're off the yellow brick road. Okay, me and my masculine talking about the yellow brick road, and we talked about that, and I showed him a picture that I posted, the yellow brick road, on my page. So, like, I witnessed my divine masculine shifts, and it's not safe. This is why separation is not as bad as you think. Okay, never mind if they run off to somebody else. They're just running, like everybody say, they're running from themselves. Okay, they're running from facing themselves, not just you, but their selves, meaning energetically. Okay, you have to allow them to go through this shift. Okay, when it comes to, eventually it's going to catch up on this masculine, and that's where you got the balance. So it's going to catch up on this masculine regardless. Okay, it just need time. It's almost like every time the masculine try to resist, they're back at square one. So yeah, just stand back and let it happen. So we got the solar plexus. Okay, this masculine, like I said, knows physically what's going on. They know they're running from themselves. Okay, they're very aware of what's going on. All right, they're not going to say it in like a full, I'm running from myself, but they're going to say it in the matters of, I don't want to be with you. It's almost like they're not actually talking. They're talking physically to the person. Okay, they're talking physically to the person that they're running from, but they're really talking to themselves, because what they see is themselves. Okay, the eyes are the mirrors to the soul. They recognize themselves in another form, and they get scared. Okay, this masculine has done that. Okay, this masculine has ran. All right, from his purpose, because he was just not ready. Okay, and I know some people will say, well, if the masculine wasn't ready, why do they run to the karmic? It's like the three little pigs. Okay, it's the three little pigs, and eventually the only safe house to run to is back on its purpose, and a more strong foundation is back on the divine purpose, back on the path, is there will be the solid foundation. Like I said, the yellow brick road, and I use this so people can understand. And with the three little pigs, the little pigs ran off to the last house. The last house was brick. Okay, this masculine, could no longer run from its purpose, which is a solid foundation. Okay, it will run this masculine back in full circle, and it will come back to the purpose that it's supposed to. and regardless of how it seems, it will. Okay, so let's find out what's going on with this patience. I hope I'm trying to break it down. Trying to break it down. All right. So we cards falling. All right. So when it comes to, a lot of masculines, they fell for, temptation. Okay, a lot of them fell for temptation. All right. So like I said, just because it looks like they ran to somebody else and they with somebody else, and they're not happy. They just, this is this ego and pride. This is the devil, a devil frequency. Okay, like I said, the devil doesn't have horns and look all red and bloody. Okay, this devil is a deceiver of his own mind. Okay, this is a person who does not want to be on their purpose, don't want to do what they came here to do, and that's most likely what's going on here. They fell for temptation. Okay, they didn't do what they were supposed to do. They didn't follow their gut feeling. They fell for temptation. Okay, this masculine was not patient and just ran right into whatever served this masculine's ego and pride. This masculine is completely narcissistic. Only would deal with situation that will serve the ego pride to keep it alive. But it won't work much longer. It never does. Okay, so you got the light card, because the divine will always win. Okay, balance will always happen, and eventually he will be aligned back to himself. Okay. All right. So we have truth. Okay, like I said, the truth will always come out. All right, that's why the light is always there. The light will always shine. It don't matter how far or what dark holes they can run into and they climb into, the light is always going to shine bright in that situation. They will be set free. All right, for those who are dealing with the divine while this divine is going through the shift, stand back. It's not safe. Okay, stand back. You have to know the difference. Okay, you gotta study yourself. If you knew yourself, you would know how to see others too. Okay, this masculine will need to cut out a lot of negativity. Okay, this masculine will have to release any toxic situations. Okay, so they would try, if they're still stuck in pride and ego, they would try to release, if they're still stuck in a low frequency, they will release the divine. Anything to do with divine, they will try to run from it. Okay, and because they believe that that's toxic, because they believe that's against what their physical body most need and desire, instead of paying attention to what the divine knows what's best and what the divine masculine needs. Okay, we do have the relationships. Like this masculine, like I said, will run from anything that feels like it's not against, this masculine is gonna just run from anything that makes this masculine feel like a commitment. They will run from a commitment if it doesn't serve their pride and ego. Okay, they will try to cut away from a divine connection and go play in Pandora's box with a karmic, because and I'm not saying that this masculine is doing this now. This is why this is what's going on with this masculine and why it's going through the awakening shift. Okay, like I said, he might have pushed away from a divine in the beginning, pushed away from his divine and cut his divine off because he would rather have played in temptation. He would rather have chosen temptation, didn't follow his intuition, wasn't patient, and knew what he was doing. See, it's like these masculines would pretend physically and say, I didn't know it was gonna happen. What you do, you always know what's gonna happen. That's why you have intuition. Okay, and people say thou shalt not judge, but you do judge. That's why you have the discernment. Okay, so we gotta be mindful how we decode these messages that we get on a day-to-day basis when it comes to love and life, okay, and peace. So people say they have the free will to do what they want. That's not true, because if that was the case, we wouldn't be where we are today. Spirit would not be trying to rip these divine masculines out of toxic situations that don't serve them, okay, as well as trying to put them in a divine union that is best for them. You understand what I'm saying? So there is no free will. You may have the will to act, but you will always have, and it will always be an action. You take the action and there's a reaction to it. So that's not free will, okay? You have, and you barely don't have a choice. But at the end of the day, society teaches you that you do, and you really don't. You just got to go with the flow, which is your blueprints. You don't resist it, masculine, and you would be fine. You wouldn't have so many toxic situations, unnecessary children, unnecessary baggage, unnecessary toxic relationships, any type of these experiences, if you just listen. That's all. That's the problem here, is these masculines are hard-headed and don't want to listen. This masculine was completely hard-headed, wasn't patient, didn't want to listen, decided that he was going to fall for temptation, didn't trust in his gut feeling, didn't want to hear the truth, ran from balancedness, ran from commitment, just to go to the opposite of what he feared the most, just to be what he feared the most. You ran from yourself just to be that same person you're trying to run from. You don't even know, like they don't even realize, like, you could have a better life if you just followed your intuition. If you just listened, you would be happy. You would be energetically happy. Your connections would be mind, body, and soul balanced and abundantly blessed. Your union would be divine, and spirit will always protect and guide you through your life. But this masculine here is looking over their shoulders, afraid of everything, don't want to hear anything, stubborn, narcissistic, got psycho traits, got a lot of toxic energy. This masculine has became the one thing he feared the most. But in his eyes, he feel like, he's doing the right thing. But technically it's not, because he believes that the God is devil and he believes that the devil is God. So he's backwards. So in all actuality, you do have the time, okay? They will find balance sooner or later. Like I said, spirit is cutting them right out of these situations here, showing them the way, and they're starting to believe, okay, this masculine, that's why you have this awakening. This masculine is starting to believe, okay, and starting to see the truth on the relationship. The spirit is guiding and showing this masculine the error of his ways and why he messed up. Because the more you resist, masculine, the stronger it will be. The divine will hit you hard, okay? The more you decide to love someone else, the more they're going to bring your feminine closer and closer and closer with they're presenting, because they're going to always present you your purpose and your path. So, a lot of masculines will say, why can't I get this woman out of my head, and vice versa. And, they just can't escape. So you don't run from it. You stand there and you accept your fate and you take it. You say, okay, well, this is what spirit wants for me. Clearly, this is what is for me. So I accept my fate and I will leave everything else behind and I will let everything else fall in place. Because regardless to how you feel, resisting it will not make it better. Okay, masculine? As soon as you get in line, everything else will fall in line too. Children with other women will be protected, because at the end of the day, it's not that you did not know what you were doing, because if you did not know what you were doing, you wouldn't have ran in the first place, okay? So let's not play that, let's not put that mask on and say, I didn't know what I was doing, You know what you were doing, because you ran from yourself. If you didn't know what you was doing, you would have went with the flow, so you knew, okay? Let's not sugarcoat the shit, okay? Salt and sugar looks like water, looks the same. Let's not do that, okay? Let's not play it. Those who know the truth know how to use your discernment to tell the difference between your masculine knowing what they're doing and not knowing what they're doing, okay? A masculine that don't know what they're doing will go with the flow because they don't know what they're doing. But a masculine who do know what they're doing will run, will resist, will hate until they surrender, okay? So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. Peace to you all. Please comment, like, subscribe, and share this video for those who need it. Alright? Donations are welcome. If you want to book, check the description box below. If you decide to book, make sure you please screenshot your payments so I can match your reading with you. Okay, it's hard when you got a different Instagram or Facebook or email name than your actual payment, like PayPal or Cash App. I need you guys to verify your payments so I know who I'm putting down in my bookings book. Okay. Um, but anyway, I love you all. Peace and blessings.